Any audio uploaded on YouTube is normalized to minus 14 decibels LUFS as perceived volume. What happens uploading audio louder or quieter? At the time I'm making this video, YouTube normalizes all uploaded audio to minus 14 decibels LUFS, allowing listeners to perceive uniform volume without excessive changes through video clips. Normalization has nothing to do with the values predicted by the ABUR 128, which is around minus 23 decibels at UFS, and the ATSC 85, which refers to the ABU but at minus 24 dB LUFS. This can be seen from the official documentation, Chapter 6, second line. In fact, they are mandatory but only for broadcasters. It has nothing to do with a YouTube streaming and similar services. From these standards, what is considered, however, is the LUFS evaluation method, not the forcing level. In the description box, you find the links to the documentation about both standards. Turn the volume up to the physical limit imposed first by analog and then by digital equipment is the behavior of the Loudness war, which has origins far back in time, since the jukeboxes era, then inherited by broadcasters and finally in streaming services, where those who love to impose themselves more turn up the volume more. The complete story can be found on Wikipedia. The link is down below in the description box. Without wasting time in covering the historical traits that from the Loudness war led to the current standardization made by both broadcasters and streaming services, I come to the point of this video. Many of those who approach the master engineering wonder how the audio is treated, loading one louder or quieter than the normalization value, and how, in the end, it is perceived by the listeners. The answers in the Google Help forums shows that the louder audio is lowered, but if quieter, it's not raised up. The same is asserted by Jan Shepherd on his site Production Advice, where it is clearly indicated that audio weaker than this value are absolutely not turned up. However, a master engineer who has doubt should do some tests. It is easier to perform the tests that we will see shortly than wasting time meandering on forums and social groups where very often you receive answers very far from reality, mixed up with exact answers which do nothing but create confusion. Here I imported the chorus of a mix I produced. It is Baila Conmigo by Barbara Vagnini. The link to the complete song is down below in the description box. I tripled the track and I made sure that each one is exported at an average level of LUFS, respectively minus 8 decibels,
Fermati un secondo che si ferma tutto il mondo. Dammi un bacio, te amo tanto. Baila conmigo, la luna addosso. Fermati un secondo.
minus 14 decibels,
Fermati un secondo che si ferma tutto il mondo. Dammi un bacio, te amo tanto. Baila conmigo, la luna addosso. Fermati un secondo.
and minus 23 or 24 decibels.
Fermati un secondo che si ferma tutto il mondo. Dammi un bacio, te amo tanto. Baila conmigo, la luna addosso. Fermati un secondo.
I imported the tracks into the video editor. I exported the 3 test videos and I uploaded them to YouTube. Let's listen to them now, one by one.
Fermati un secondo.
The volume is 100%. Right-click stats for nerds. YouTube turned the volume down by 48% as the track exceeded the intervention threshold of the normalization algorithm by 5.6 decibels.
Fermati un secondo che si
The volume is at 100%. Right-click stats for nerds. The volume has not been touched by YouTube, because the level is just below the intervention threshold. In fact, there is almost no change in perception between minus 8 and minus 14. Well, the minus 14 is even a tiny bit louder.
Fermati un secondo che si ferma tutto il mondo. Fermati un secondo che si ferma tutto il mondo. Fermati un secondo che si
Clearly, the volume is quieter. As expected, YouTube did not turn up the audio level.
la luna addosso. Fermati un secondo.
because it is well below the intervention threshold of the normalization algorithm. We can summarize. Loading a louder audio, it is lowered or normalized to minus 14 decibels at UFS. Due to the normalization, almost no volume variation is perceived between an audio already mastered at minus 14 decibel and one at minus 8. Truly, we can see that the one mastered at minus 14 is even a bit louder than the one mastered at minus 8. It is therefore totally useless to pump up the volume for the videos to be published on YouTube. Loading audio mastered at a level below minus 14 decibels at UFS, YouTube doesn't alter its volume in any way. It is therefore not turned up at all. I hope it was useful. Thanks for watching.